A few months ago, I put together a video of some of my top picks for dream chapters to Enter the Fog. And with the upcoming PTB for Castlevania, I thought I'd make a part 2 of more licensed chapters that I'd personally love to see enter the fog. So with Dracula coming soon, who else could be a potential candidate to kick pallets and avoid flashlights? Let's talk about it. Alright, so before I go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and let you all know that I am simply having fun with this, and some of these ideas will be really crazy and a little outlandish. Some are I think are doable, and maybe I shouldn't say that because, you know, we've seen behavior do things that we didn't think before. I'm looking at you, Chucky, because we didn't think we were gonna, you know, they were gonna be able to pull that off, but look how that worked out. So that being said, I do still believe that some of the ideas that I have for some of these killers are quite outlandish. I'll say that. So I'm just having fun. I know this is gonna be like, oh man, that's not possible, or oh, that's gonna, I'm just saying this is just a fun video of dream chapters before I go any further. But yeah, so with that out of the way, the first one is Jason. I made a whole other video about Jason, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on Jason, but like I said in that video, I do think that Jason is probable. We've seen, you know, a lot of creators talk about that, and we've seen the rumors and everything. So I think Jason is very probable. I think a lot of people, including myself, would love to have Jason in the game. I think with DBD being basically the Hall of Fame of horror, it just makes sense, right? I mean, Jason's got to be in it. So yeah, so I think the main thing with Jason would be, you know, just being, you know, just unstoppable. Maybe he can like walk through pallet stuns. You know, I know you have Singularity that can kind of do that, but I mean, you know, basically he can do that like more often, and it's, you know, he doesn't have to do so much to get it. Yeah, I think his power being something where he kind of, you know, manhandles survivors. I think that's something that should be in it as well. Some people did in the previous video did mention, you know, him using different weapons. That could be a part of it as well. But yeah, I just think that Jason should definitely be added into the fog, and we think he's on the way, and that would be awesome. So my next one of my dream chapters that I would love to see. Now this one is a bit tricky. This one would require some changing around, but I don't think it would be too crazy, but I mean, I think behavior could definitely do it, but it would require some changing, and that is the Death Angel from the Quiet Place movies. Obviously, if you have a Death Angel in the game, that does change things tremendously, because obviously everything has to be silent, or at least very, very, very quiet now. But I think that would make a much more tense environment for the maps and the trials. And that would be a very interesting thing to see behavior put together. So this little idea that I was thinking, that how they could heavily modify it. So I would say with the Death Angels, there's some type of noise dampener that survivors can apply to themselves, and like they put it on their shoes, and they can apply it to generators, and you know, obviously it stops the Death Angel from being able to zip to you as quickly. But on the other side to that, anytime there's something there where there's noise happening, whether it's a fast or loud noise happening, walking, you know, I don't think walking should trigger that, but running, fast vaulting, doing a gen at all without the dampener, the Death Angel can zip to you. And I mean, like, the animation for the killer should be like a super fast zip right to the location, you know, to make you, you know, to kind of make it seem like a Death Angel. And then maybe there's even like some insta down in that, you know, like once it gets to you, it just like insta down, something like that. Like I said, I know this is kind of wild, but in keeping with theme with the Death Angels, you know, it would have to be something like that. But that's why I say, you know, this one I think would be a very cool idea to have, but it would require some changing. I think that would create a very tense environment for the trials, and I think I would be super interested to see how they would follow through with that one. And then for my last one, I have the Night King from Game of Thrones. I know that one is kind of wild. Wait till you hear this power. I know this one is kind of wild. I don't know, for some reason I kind of feel like that would be difficult for them to get, but I mean, they've gotten all these other huge licenses, so I guess, you know, why not? I don't know any of the legalities with like HBO or any of that stuff. I'm just talking about who I think would be cool, and I think Night King would be a very cool and fun and interesting killer to join the fog. I think this one would have to be one that, again, makes you feel very powerful, because if you've seen Game of Thrones, you know that the Night King is the ultimate threat, at least until season 8. You'd know that the Night King is the ultimate threat. And so I had an idea for his power that would kind of be, it'd be a couple things. So one, He's one of those killers that has like, you know, like a main power and then like an alternate power. So the main power would be similar to Vecna, where he can cycle. So, but he can only cycle 2, so he'd be cycling between either the throwing spear that he threw at Khaleesi's dragon. The other ability that he can cycle to would be resurrecting a White Walker. Now, I would want this White Walker to function more like the Knight's Guards, but it's a little bit faster and can attack him down as well. I'm not really sure how they would, you know, implement the counterplay to that. Again, I know I said these would be kind of wild, just kind of thinking of fun ideas. Obviously, there would have to be some type of way to, you know, easily maneuver away from that, because I mean, if you've got this, you know, this White Walker who can like bolt at you super fast, obviously your survivors have to have a counter for that. I'm just thinking about something that would be kind of interesting and fun to see. So the 2 cycled powers would be the throwing spear and resurrecting a White Walker, and then the alternate ability. Now this is where it gets really crazy. I had this idea that he can summon Viserion onto the trial, and when he does so, he teleports up to Viserion, and Viserion can like basically be like a drone that like looks over the top of the map. Like he's way up in the sky and he's looking over the top of the map, and he can kind of circle for like a few seconds, and he can shoot down fire with Viserion that obviously, you know, would, you know, either down survivors or hinder survivors, or at least block areas of the map with fire, something like that. I told you when I said it was gonna get wild, but that is something that would be right on theme with the Night King. It shows that power, and it is something that we have not seen. I mean, that's something that's totally different from anything else we've ever had in this game. I know that sounds super over the top and super OP, and in that way it would be. I'm sure there would, let's be honest, that's probably not something that we're gonna get, but if they did, that would be awesome. I would think with something that you can't counter, I mean, because you can't counter raining fire, I don't know that it would be all the way fair for it to just instantly down you, because you kind of can't, you know, you can't really get away from that, especially if he has like a bird's eye view over the entire map. But I'm just thinking about something that would make sense with the character and make you feel like a powerful villain, because that's something that I've been you know, a major supporter of, is, you know, having killers that make you feel like a powerful villain. You know, obviously, you know, it has to be within the structure of the game, you know, like with the, you know, with the pallets and everything, and you know the chase. But I do like, you know, having those characters that come in that give that, you know, that sense of power to the killer, and then make the survivors go, okay, I actually have to think, how do I get around this? But I know in this conversation with the Night King, there's really not a lot of that, and that's why I said that at the beginning, that it was going to be a bit wild. But I do think that would be awesome, having the Night King join the fog, and you know, he can cycle between the spear, or you know, resurrecting a White Walker, and he can even, you know, ride Viserion for a little bit over the top of the map and kind of be like a drone and kind of, you know, rain down fire. That would be awesome. It would just be awesome. I know that's like 99.999% not gonna happen, but that would be awesome. Hopefully a lot of you agree with me on that. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for today. As I said, just wanted to make another video of, you know, more Dream chapters, even as ridiculous as they may be. But anyway, definitely looking forward to next week for the PTB, assuming it is the Castlevania. Well, it has to be, because it's August the 6th. As always, guys, drop your comments down below. Of course, as we always say in this community, keep it friendly, be nice to one another, be kind. Whatever you guys, you know, if you guys have more thoughts about other Dream chapters that you guys didn't let me know in that other Dream chapter video, please feel free to drop your comment and let's talk about it. I'm sure you guys have some awesome ideas, as you always do. And that's another thing. I do want to say that I appreciate, you know, you all who comment, and, you know, you actually, you know, have some, you know, some good ideas, or just anything nice that you have to say. I always appreciate that. You know, like we always say, we try and keep it fun and kind here for, you know, this Dead by Daylight content. So I appreciate each and every one of you who do that. And yeah, so thanks guys for stopping by. And as I always say, stay safe, and I will see you in the fog.